Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today is a very special day, it's an auspicious day when I get to talk about my Megadrive collection. I have to say I'm so pleased to be able to do this because for many years both the Megadrive and the N64 collections have been kept in stasis, as it were, back home in North Wales. Now the reason for this is because it's not just my collection, it's also my brother's. I know my brothers together, and I'm sure many of you have experienced this. The siblings can't quite agree where these things should go. So it's taken about 10 years, but they're finally here with me. I'm essentially going to be sort of the steward for both me and my brother, looking after this stuff, and also actually, to be honest, restoring something. I mean, for example, we were really hard on our consoles. This is our original N64 controller, and the stick, gotta say, is fairly wobbly and tired. The buttons, though, they've held up really well. But this was the controller I first played Ocarina of Time on. But nonetheless, they need replacing, so I've got some replacements coming in the post, both for the N64 and for the Mega Drive. And in the near future, I'm going to be playing the shit out of these games. Nonetheless, today I just want to talk about the Mega Drive collection because these games really represent, I suppose, a huge chunk of my childhood, but also actually a collaboration between me and my brother. We've honed our collection down over the years, right up until actually very late in the Mega Drive lifespan. To be honest, actually beyond the Mega Drive lifespan, we were sort of late adopters. For example, of the N64. So we worked on our collection, and every game represents something to one of us, and I think most of them we've played an awful lot, so we really got our money's worth. Anyway, enough of that, I hear you cry. Show us the games, where are the games? So let's start in no particular order. Let's see, here we go. Let's start with Global Gladiators, in conjunction with Virgin Games and McDonald's. You might say a slightly cynical rip-off of a certain style of platforming. I think actually quite good fun. The music is probably trying too hard to be quirky, lots of sort of wow kind of noises, but good fun. I like the guns. I think they fire mustard actually at the baddies, the goo shooters actually, and and also crucially, this game actually has on it a label. Let me see if I can get this label here. Megabytes tested and played label, second-hand, bought from Megabytes, the store in Earl, which I think is closed down now. But that store was so important to both me and my brother. We spent many a years, I suppose, cumulatively, many a month, say, in that game store. I'm actually so around it. It was part of it's like an island in an old indoor market, which is still in Earl. But this particular store isn't there anymore. But basically, it's this old sort of Victorian style thing where the shutters come down and you could look through racks and racks of games, and we would talk for hours with the owner of that shop, and essentially negotiate prices down. And also, she kept some games to one side for us. She was very nice. Anyway, first game, Global Gladiators, McDonald's and Virgin. Yeah, love it. Next. What's next? Okay. Haunting, Mega Drive Haunting starring Poltergeist, is the is the tagline on it. A really great game actually. Back in the day, it got 86% apparently, from Electronic Arts. There's an old Electronic Arts logo. Who knew the pain they go on to incur on gaming and gamers, but a brilliant game. Essentially, you're a ghost. You're trying to scare people out of different houses. You can sort of see on the back there. Very simple graphics, but basically you can take over different parts of the house, so different bits of furniture. Maybe make like the TV bleed, the walls come alive, the couch swallows people, and your job is to scare people out of the house that they've come into. Once again, come from Megabytes, in the Queen's Market. Love it. Haunting, starring Poltergeist. Great game. Next. This one, of course we have to have this one. It's The Lion King. Mega Drive, The Lion King. brilliant game. This one comes from later on in the Mega Drive's lifespan. This wonderful, I quite like this sort of blue box design. 24 meg, it proudly exclaims. Beautiful art style, takes music from the film, very playable. I remember wasting many hours playing the game. Wasting? Sorry, no. Enjoying many hours playing the game. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, brilliant game. Now, funnily enough, I spent an awful lot of my teenage years trying to find the best, I suppose, Jurassic Park game, and the first Jurassic Park on the Mega Drive wasn't that good in my opinion. The Lost World Jurassic Park I got, and I thought, well, hopefully this one will live up to that first game that I tried at a friend's house. It didn't quite, but it's a good game, it's passable. 32 meg, it says proudly. Wow, we're going up in the megs. But The Lost World Jurassic Park, very enjoyable. Battle Frenzy. Now, if you haven't played Battle Frenzy, so let's try and get the light off if you haven't played Battle Frenzy, it is, well, it's an attempt at being a first-person 3D shooter. The back, I could never read it because it's actually written in I think German on the back there, description. But it's actually quite a good game. It starts to get there. It's kind of like a take on Doom, I guess. It's starting to get into that sort of 3D. But I really enjoyed it. I was desperate at this point, I think, when I got this game for something like an N64. So when I finally got hold of this, I thought, oh, it's like playing an N64. It's really not. But it's a good game. A good attempt at a first-person 3D shooter. Yeah. This is a really old classic now. Crackdown. Love a bit of Crackdown. If you haven't played it, you should give it a go. Very, very classic sort of gameplay style. Ben and Andy, the two top special service agents, have accepted a very dangerous assignment: the elimination of Mr. K and his artificial life system. Mr. K plans to rid the Earth of human life forms using the killer robots he's created. Human life forms. Crackdown, give it a go. It is what it is. This one here, this is a bit of a rare one actually. I haven't come across it all that much. Again, bought secondhand from Megabytes. It's called Fairy Tale. Now, Fairy Tale, the Fairy Tale Adventure, sorry, it's called. It's actually quite good. It's from Electronic Arts, Sega Genesis seal of quality, so probably actually not from here, originally from here anyway. And it's basically an RPG, an old style RPG, and it's the kind of thing that I saw, I suppose, being played on films like Big, this kind of thing, and I always wanted to sort of replicate that. And this was before, obviously before the days of Ocarina of Time. So it was a really good actually RPG. It's a good attempt at being engaging. Bit complicated, a bit difficult to pick up when you're a kid, but I enjoyed it. I really liked it. Okay, so of course, yes. RoboCop versus Terminator. This game is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. In the near future, the worlds of RoboCop and the Terminator merge into a single reality. You, as RoboCop, must save mankind by destroying the Skynet supercomputer in the possible future in which machines rule the Earth and Skynet is supreme. Really good music, brilliant sort of gun system, as it were. That is to say that you could carry, I think, 2 different guns at a time. The guns were really imaginative. The sound effects were brilliant. The noise, the noise, that kind of noise that happened whenever you shot a bad guy who wasn't a Terminator, was very entertaining. RoboCop vs Terminator. If you haven't played it yet, give it a go. Brilliant game. Okay. Taz, The Escape from Mars, or In the Escape from Mars. I'm not going to say too much about it. A good game, very good in terms of the cartoon style. Taz is back and he's in trouble. Marvin the Martian has locked Taz in his space zoo. Worth playing, pretty good. And if you don't know much about those Looney Tunes characters, then why not have a bit of a go? You might learn something, I guess, along the way. G-Lock. Air battle. The enemy has started its attack. They've mobilised their air force and land forces in a major assault. You're stationed on an aircraft carrier on the front line. It's up to you to show them what an ace pilot can really do. Yeah, it's really good, actually. Well, I quite enjoyed it. Again, you've got to remember, this is back in the day, and these games were, in many cases, they were really pushing the envelope of what, for example, the Megadrive could do. Enter the Dragon. Sorry, there you go. Dragon, sorry, the Bruce Lee story. But based on sort of things like Enter the Dragon, this kind of thing. It's a good game. It's not the best beat 'em up in the world, but I enjoyed it just because of the Bruce Lee factor. If you like Bruce Lee, it's probably worth giving it a go. Again, actually produced by Virgin. They did loads of games for the Mega Drive. Ugh. Now this is one that's my brother's actually. Premier Manager 97. Football. Make way for Prince Ali. Aladdin, Disney's Aladdin on the Mega Drive. Brilliant game. Very repetitive music though, I do remember that. And I tried this game briefly actually when we were picking up the Mega Drive, and my wife, the poor lady, was being driven crazy by the repetitive music. Although, Cash Buyers, that's another store we used to go to. So yeah, we've got the Cash Buyers label on there. Good game, really, really good platformer. Lots of little hidden secrets as well here and there. But yeah, the music will drive you crazy. So I suppose it's an impetus to get through the levels, I guess. Yes, some different music. This one is great. The Chaos Engine, really, really good. Top-down shooting action game. It's a game where it's very butch, it's very over the top, but it's loads of fun. Once again, comes from Megabytes. The bizarre monster-making Chaos Engine, it'll take some beating. Thug, mercenary, scientist, gentleman, and navvy, or brigand. Choose 2 to rampage across 4 deviously deadly worlds, or fiendishly fierce blow-em-up action. A really good game actually. If you haven't tried it, you really should. The Chaos Engine. Now this one comes from, I suppose, one of my childhood passions, that was watching snooker. I used to love watching snooker with my granddad. We got Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker, and well, it's like most snooker games. It's just not quite as good as just going and playing snooker. So ironically enough, next to Megabytes, where we bought this thing, is a snooker club, and I should have spent more time there rather than playing that game. But a passable game, just suffers from the same thing as every other snooker game out there. Yes. Micro Machines 2, the Turbo Tournament. Now this game is very, very special because it's 1 to 8 players. Because on the cartridge, you'll see you can actually plug in 2 extra controllers, and on each that means 2 controllers on the machine, 2 controllers on the cartridge, and each controller, what you could do is just use 2 halves of the controller to steer, while the go is automatic, and that means you could have 8 players going at the same time. A little bit primitive, but again, it's Mega Drive. The Micro Machines racing games are brilliant. If you haven't played them, do definitely play them. That's not the only Micro Machines game that I've got in this collection. Okay, what's next? Sonic 3D, Flicky's Island. Really good game. Great attempt initially at taking Sonic into the 3rd dimension. It's that sort of isolinear kind of 3D. Passable, very passable. You can get this now on various, in various ways, downloading on, I think, iOS, this kind of thing. Give it a go. If you like Sonic, try it. I think it's actually one of his better 3D games. Certainly better than lots of the ones that we got in the early 2000s, for example. Lemmings 2, Tribes. Do I have to say anything really about Lemmings games? Brilliant. They're really, really good, and I've always loved the sort of the array of characters that are on the tribes box there, especially this guy here, the sort of the ninja with a bazooka. Yeah. Oh, Mega Game 6. This one came with built-in with 6 games on 1 cartridge. Most of these games we have already in separate forms. World Cup Italia 90, actually we do have, or we did have, I don't know if it's still here. Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, The Revenge of Shinobi, Super Hang-On and Columns. I think we got this because we wanted Super Hang-On, I think. Might be wrong. We'll have to see if it's elsewhere in the box, but a great little collection. And at the time we were like, how did they fit all 6 on 1 cartridge? I just don't know. Oh, another football game, FIFA 96 Soccer. Pretty good. Actually, both me and my brother got really good at these games because we'd be playing each other like no one's business. And we were able to sort of, as you do with these sports games, monitor the different features as they came along. So FIFA 97 was a bit better in some respects. Had led training, for example, on a wooden court instead of on a grass court. And I remember it had a massive instruction booklet, huge. But also, I also really like lots of these different cartridges. This thing here, this little tab, I believe it's in Electronic Arts tab, EA tab. Sort of built in, you can see that sort of built into the cartridge. I always imagined that there was some, special purpose for that, but obviously not. It's just some, plastic moulding. It's branding. Oh, Mega Games 1. Why the hell did we get Mega Games 6 then? This one's got Super Hang-On, World Cup Italia 90, and Columns. Mega Games 6 has those already. I don't know, was it Golden Axe? Was that what we were after? I don't know, we've got both these Mega Games anyway. Another collection, this time 3 games on 1 cartridge. Toy Story! This is good. It's not great, it's a good platformer. It's quite imaginative, it sort of works around the plot of the film. We enjoyed it. I mean, we watched the Toy Story film, we wanted to play the game, we got the game, we liked the game. I think this game we might actually have bought brand new. Yeah, not second hand. Toy Story, good game. It's worth playing. It's not going to change your life, but it's a good game. EA Hockey. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. EA Hockey, good game, good hockey game. We weren't massively into hockey, but sometimes we just had a hankering, and this really satisfied that particular need. Dynamite Heady. This was, I think, a late on in the Megadrive lifespan, an attempt at launching a sort of another IP, intellectual property, another character. And it's quite imaginative, actually. Heady is a puppet. He fights lots of other puppet-type characters, and by changing the head on the puppet, i.e. Heady, Dynamite Heady, you change what he can do. It's an interesting game, and I think you can download this in certain ways. So look out for it. If you haven't got a Mega Drive, look out for it on the app stores or whatever devices you've got. It's worth trying. Dynamite Heady. The whole thing, incidentally, takes place essentially on a stage. So all the different levels are actually pretty much on a stage show. So you actually see the backgrounds coming in, like a bit, like scenery in a theatre. It's an interesting game. Oh, the very best pinball game of all time, Psycho Pinball. They need to make a follow-up to this from Codemasters. A brilliant game. 92%, the finest pinball game ever to grace the Mega Drive. No arguments, no competition, says Sega Power Magazine. It's really, really good. Came with a little cardboard slip. Fantastic. 4 tables, but the tables are so deep in terms of their playability. 3 ball actions. You can actually have 3 balls on the table in one go, but there was so much to discover on each and every table. A brilliant pinball game. I've never been able to find anything that comes close to this in terms of pinball fun. I even got the Ed pinball collection for the Wii, and it just doesn't touch it. That is the best pinball game in my opinion, of all time. Okay, what else have we got? Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. Don't have to say anything about this. Sonic is brilliant, vivid colours, wonderful sound effects. This was the first game we got on the Megadrive, and it came with the Megadrive actually. So this game has been with us all the way through. You can even see that the cartridge is a little bit greasy where little boy's fingers have been manhandling it. Great game, you know that, and you can get it on other platforms. WF Raw Wrestling. Back in the early 90s, me and my brother loved watching wrestling all the time. It used to be on TV here on a Sunday, and we'd want to play the games. And of course, that guy, we always wanted to be The Undertaker. Great game. Also as well, it's got characters like Doink, the 1-2-3 kid, Razor Ramon. It's a really good game. Really fun wrestling game. Obviously doesn't hold a candle to what you can do these days, but it was a great game. Lotus Turbo Challenge with the dodgy plastic on the front. Another Electronic Arts game, licensed by Lotus. Really good fun. Again, it's a great game. It's one of those games where the car actually stays still, but I'm sort of put that in your face there. The car actually stays still, but the background moves, giving you the sort of the idea that you're moving along. Head-to-head two-player racing, it proudly boasts on the front. Now this one, I don't know, I've always found it interesting. I've always found it a bit hypnotic. Space Harrier 2. It's a game which I remember finding really difficult because of the refresh rate on the screen. Things sort of come at you in a certain way and at a certain speed. That it's hypnotic and difficult, but worthwhile playing. It's one of those older Mega Drive games. It's one that not everyone will enjoy, but you should give it a go if you haven't. If you've got a Mega Drive, you should try and get hold of a copy. I've already talked about this in a previous video, and that is this game, Super Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2, yes, not Turbo. Wonderful version of Street Fighter. A new challenge awaits! For 2 years they've reigned supreme. 12 of the most gifted fighters from across the world have battled each other in the World Warrior Tournament, but time has come for them to step aside. Now is the time of new challengers. And these are the challengers and their shadows here. I particularly like her. She's a good character, and him. I found him very interesting. Wonderful game. Taught me how to play Street Fighter. Enjoyed it a lot. Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP 2. Pretty good actually. Pretty good simulation of Formula 1, and actually this one actually had pit stops. You can sort of see the second screen down there, and sort of a depth to it which other Formula 1 games didn't have at the time. Good fun, and I've got a friend who has named his son Ayrton, and I will be playing that game with him soon. Maybe both him and his son, who knows. Alien Storm! Complete and utter total rip-off of jumping on the bandwagon that was everyone sort of going, we need things to be aliens now, because of the popularity of the Alien films. A good game, not a great game. Just having a look inside. Oh, scorebook. Oh, cool. Someone's got scores written in the back there. Yeah, you should possibly give it a go at some point. Alien Storm. Again, quite an early game for the Mega Drive. Shape-changing alien scum take over your city, fry the slimy horrors, and smash their bid for global conquest. Including a 3D view into the screen. Yeah. What else have we got here? We've got NBA Jam. Brilliant. Both me and my brother really enjoy basketball, both playing it in real life, but also playing the games. NBA Jam was a really good basketball game on the Mega Drive. We tried various ones. This is the one that we kept at the time. Once again, comes from Megabytes and Real. That shop, man, that shop was brilliant. FIFA 95 Soccer. So we got 95, 96 and 97. Yeah, we got better and better over the years as well. We could hold each other to a stalemate on those games. Oh, the box is a bit broken on this one. Desert Strike. Surely, if you own a Mega Drive, you've played this game. It's a really, really good game. You're a helicopter. It's set in the first Gulf War. Pilot your AH-64 Apache helicopter on a covert strike against a ruthless military dictator. 27 in-depth missions. Take out tanks, scuds, and nuclear reactors. Rescue POWs and hostages used as human shields. Some things never change, eh? Good game, really good sort of from above action sort of game. Really difficult actually. I remember it being really hard as a kid. Looking forward to trying it again. Desert Strike on the Mega Drive. Well worth playing. Micro Machines. We've already talked about this. A brilliant game. Top-down racing. And the thing I love about it is every single track is somewhere different. So you've got a sand pit, you've got a snooker table, you've got someone's bath, you've got a breakfast table, and usually the tracks are drawn out in chalk. You have to avoid ink, you have to jump over breakfast cereal. It's a great game, and so is the follow-up that you've already seen. James Bond 007 The Duel with Timothy Dalton as Bond. Pretty good actually. I enjoyed playing this game immensely. For a little while before we could get an N64, this was the closest I could get to playing GoldenEye, and I played the crap out of this game. Crap. Well worth playing. Captain America and the Avengers. Good game, Marvel Comics. Very much comics, side-scrolling, beat-em-up type thing, starring the Avengers, which are Iron Man, Hawk, and Vision, and also along with Captain America, versus various bad guys from the Marvel world, including Red Skull and this guy here, who might be appearing on a film. No, so this guy here might be appearing on a film screen sometime next year. Is that Ultron? I think it is. So, Captain America and the Avengers, really good fun. Really cheesy. Can't overstate how cheesy the voiceovers are. But if you grew up watching, for example, the Spider-Man cartoon series, there are lots of little bits and bobs in there that you'll just go, it's Marvel, it's a marvellous Marvel game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I bought this copy in York. I remember going on a trip to York and just seeing it in a window for second hand for not too much money at the time, and losing my mind at the prospect of playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Really like the way Dr. Robotnik or Eggman is sort of gripping the two. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get the Sonic, I'm gonna get him. Whoa. And great game. Also had Tails, which made us think that, stupidly, you could play equally as two players. You couldn't really. So it's all about Sonic. Tails would have to do an awful lot of catching up. This game tears people, tears communities right down the middle, and that is Shaq Fu. I actually quite like it, and it's one of those things where I've actually got quite, in some cases, very niche tastes when it comes to some bad games. Some of them I just like, and this is one that I like. Both me and my brother really enjoyed it. We got really good at it, got really far in terms of the story. Not sure I'll be buying the Kickstarter funded follow-up to Shaq Fu, but Shaquille O'Neal in a mystical kung fu universe. It's worth experiencing, definitely. Jurassic Park Rampage Edition. This, in my opinion, is the best Jurassic Park game on the Mega Drive. Full of action, full of platforming, full of things like, for example, using you see the, was it electric gun being used just there on a raptor. Yeah, nice. You've got a T-Rex stalking you there. It's a great game, really good game. Better than Jurassic Park, again, the original game on the Mega Drive. Rampage Edition. It's like a reworking, a reimagining, and with completely different gameplay mechanics compared to the original game. Okay, so 3 more games to go, folks, and I haven't left the best till last. Let's go with this one, shall we? The Menacer games cartridge. Now, I believe this is meant to be played with a peripheral, like a gun, but we haven't got the Menacer gun. I have to try and get that at some point. that might explain why we always found this to be really quite well, odd and really hard to play with the with the control pads. Ready, aim, tomatoes. I'll have to come back to that if I can get hold of the Menacer gun. Muhammad Ali Heavyweight Boxing. Good game, really good boxing game, really good fun. Sort of an attempt at having 3D. You see on the rings there, they're not just sort of flat. You know, it's not an old-fashioned 2D sort of two boxers hitting each other. It's actually attempting to be 3D. I remember having the overly sort of dolled up, round announcers. Those ladies go, "Oh, hello," with the numbers. And as a young teenager, I was like, "Oh, look, there's a lady. There's a sexy lady." Originally, this cost £39.99. Blimey. But it was £4 from cash converters, and again, good fun until we got an N64. That was our boxing game. And finally, folks, this one, European Club Soccer. Actually, a good football game, a really passable football game. Both me and my brother really enjoyed again playing against each other. Not in the same league as the FIFA games, but I think we kept it because it had branded clubs and it also had a certain style to it that we enjoyed. So European Club Soccer, again, why not give it a go? Another game from Virgin as well, actually, I noticed just there. So there you have it, guys. That is my Mega Drive collection. Hang on, the box is empty. Actually, no, it wasn't empty, there was dust. So there you go, that's it. Oh, actually, no, there's also this. This isn't a Mega Drive thing, a TV Boy. On this there are many hundreds of games. I haven't actually booted up for a long time. I think they might be Atari games. But TV Boy 2, I picked this up back again while I was back home in Wales. I'll have to plug it in and try it out. I've got a sneaking suspicion that I hate most of these games, but but it's got, it's part of your childhood. It's part of it's that sort of nostalgia thing. So there you go. Yeah, that's my entire Mega Drive collection. Hopefully you found that interesting or enjoyable. Basically, what you've seen there is a little slice of who I and my brother are in terms of our cross-section of gaming habits and what we enjoyed playing. If you like this video, at some point I'll probably go through my N64 collection as well. They're just over there, but this is probably a very long video already. And there you go. Yeah, that's it. Mega Drive. Cannot wait to play through this stack, or these stacks of games. But I suppose the one that I really want to get playing again is this Psycho Pinball. Seriously, this has to be remade, or at the very least, if you haven't played it, get a copy, because this game is brilliant. Psycho Pinball. So there you go. There you have it, guys. Until next time, as ever, do take care. Thanks for watching.